There are nights when silence is louder than any argument, and loneliness feels heavier than absence itself. That was the night I realized I wasn't truly married anymore. I was simply not alone in the same house. This is Letters from Little Saigon, where we share stories of love, distance, and quiet reflections. Gentle tales written like letters, for those who listen before sleep. If you find warmth or comfort here, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, so our stories can find their way to more hearts. The night began like any other. The sound of the refrigerator hummed faintly in the background. The soft glow of the TV flickered against the walls, and the clock ticked in a steady rhythm, the kind that feels louder when the heart is tired. He sat at one end of the couch, scrolling through his phone. I sat at the other, pretending to watch the show we both used to love. Between us was a coffee table, 2 empty cups, and a silence that had grown roots over the years. There was no fight, no anger, just distance. The kind of distance you don't see, you feel. Sometimes I would glance at him and remember the man I married, the boy who once stood outside my dorm in the rain, waiting with a paper bag of warm food because I hadn't eaten all day. He used to talk endlessly about dreams, our first house, our travels, the children we would raise together. But somewhere along the years, the conversations faded, replaced by reminders and routines. Did you pay the bills? Did you pick up the groceries? Did you call your mom? I used to think marriage was about love, but that night I realized it's also about attention, the quiet kind, the invisible thread that keeps 2 hearts listening to each other. He looked up from his phone and asked, "Are you okay?" I smiled. "Yeah, just tired." It wasn't a lie. I was tired, but not the kind of tired sleep could fix. After he went to bed, I stayed on the couch, staring at the soft light spilling from the kitchen. I listened to the echo of our home, footsteps fading, drawers closing, water running from the tap, and for the first time, I felt like a guest in my own marriage. We weren't fighting. We weren't falling apart. We were just drifting quietly. There's a certain heartbreak in realizing that love doesn't always end with an explosion. Sometimes it fades like a song you used to know by heart, but can no longer hum. I opened our wedding album that night. The photos were still perfect, the smiles, the hands, the way he looked at me like the world stopped spinning for a second. But that girl in the white dress, she felt like someone I used to know. I whispered to the photo, "When did we stop being us?" In the weeks that followed, I started noticing the little things. How we stopped eating breakfast together. How I learned to fill the silence with podcasts and music. How my laughter sounded different. More polite, less alive. And yet, every Sunday morning, he still brewed my coffee just the way I liked it. Still placed my mug on the same spot by the window. Still said, "Drive safe," before leaving for work. He was kind. Always kind. That's what made it harder. Loneliness inside kindness feels crueler somehow. One night, after dinner, I asked him if he was happy. He looked surprised, then quiet. "I think so," he said. "Are you?" I wanted to say yes. I wanted to say we were fine, but my voice betrayed me. "I don't know," I said softly. That moment, that pause, was when I realized what I'd been afraid to admit. We were living side by side, but not together. It took months for me to understand that loneliness inside marriage doesn't always mean failure. Sometimes, it's a signal, a quiet whisper, telling you that love needs tending again, that 2 people can still find their way back if they truly listen. So I started small. I began writing him letters, not texts, not reminders. Letters, just short notes left in his briefcase, on his nightstand, beside his coffee mug. Thank you for still making coffee. I miss talking to you. I loved the song you played last night. At first, he didn't say much. Then one morning, he left a note. Buy my pillow. Let's go somewhere this weekend. Just us. And for the first time in a long time, I smiled. The kind of smile that comes from hope, not habit. We didn't fix everything overnight. Love doesn't work like that. But the silence softened. The distance shortened. We began talking again about small things, funny things, even painful things. Sometimes, the best way to heal isn't to run away from the quiet, but to sit inside it together. And maybe that's what marriage really is. Not the promise to never feel lonely, but the courage to admit when you do, and the choice to reach across the silence anyway. If this story touched your heart, take a moment to like, share, or subscribe. Somewhere out there, another quiet listener might need this story tonight. This is Letters from Little Saigon, where we remember, reflect, and sometimes gently heal. See you in the next letter. Goodbye.